Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining today's Srimad Bhagavatam class and discussion. We'll start with Jai Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihar Gopijana Vallabha Giri Varadhar Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Ashoda Ravana Yashodana Kana Brajajana Ravana Jaya Radha Jana Vallabha Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Vallabha Yashoda Yodanandana Braja Janarandana Bhavanacha Madhava Radha Kunja Bihari Radha Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Murlidhar Radha Dar Radhe Radha Pitambar Dhari Radha Pitambar Dhari Radhe Radha जय राधा यशोदानंदन राधा यशोदानंदन जय जी गोवर्धन जी गोवर्धन जी गोवर्धन जय पवन पवन जय राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय राधे श्याम बलराम कृष्ण बलराम हरि बोल हरि बोल जय बोल Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we will be discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 16, and verse number 20. 4, 16, 20. अयं भुवो मण्डलमोदयाद्रे अयं भुवो मण्डलं मोदयाद्रेर्गोप्ताय कवीरो नरदेवनाथ गोप्ताय वीरो नरदेवनाथ आस्थाय जैत्रं रथमात चापा रथमात पर्यस्यते दक्षिणतो यतार्क दक्षिणतो यतार्क अव्यं भुवो मण्डलमोदयाद्रेर् अयं भुवो मण्डलमोदयाद्रेर् गोप्तैकवीरो नरदेवनाथ गोप्तैः कवीरो नरदेवनाथ आस्थाय जैत्रं रतमात चाप आस्ताय जैत्रं रतमाथ चाप पर्यस्यते दक्षिणते यतार्क पर्यस्ते दक्षिणतो यतार्क. Anybody wants to recite? अयं भुवो मण्डलमोदयाद्रेर् गोप्तैकवीरो नरदेवनाथ. आस्थाय जैत्रं रतमात चाप पर्यस्यते दक्षिणतो यतार्क. Synonyms: I am this king, Bhuva of the world, Mandalam the globe, Ayudhya Adreya from the mountain where the first appearance of the sun is visible. Gopta will protect. Eka uniquely. Veera powerful heroic. Nara Deva of all kings, God in human society. Nath the master. Asthaya being situated on. Jaitram victorious. Ratham his chariot. Atachapa holding the bow. Paryasyate he is circumambulating. Dakshinatha from the southern side. Yatha like. Arka the sun. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. This king, being uniquely powerful and heroic, will have no competitors. He will travel around the globe on his victorious chariot, holding his invincible bow in his hand and appearing exactly like the sun, which rotates in its own orbit from the south. Once again, the translation: this king, being uniquely powerful and heroic, will have no competitor. He will travel around the globe on his victorious chariot, holding his invincible bow in his hand and appearing exactly like the sun, which rotates in its own orbit from the south. Purport: in this verse, the word Yatharka indicates that the sun is not fixed but is rotating in its orbit, which is set by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita and also in other parts of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that the sun rotates in its own orbit at the rate of 16,000 miles per second. Similarly, Brahma Samhita states यस्याज्ञा यस्याज्ञया ब्रह्ममति संभृत kala chakra. The sun rotates in its own the sun rotates in its own orbit according to the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The conclusion is that the sun is not fixed in one place. As far as Prithu Maharaj is concerned, it is indicated that his ruling power would extend all over the world. The Himalaya mountains from which the sun rise is first seen are called Udayachala or Udayadri. It is herein indicated that Prithu Maharaj's reign over the world would cover even the Himalaya mountains and extend to the borders of all oceans and seas. In other words, his reign would cover the entire planet. Another significant word in this verse is Naradeva. As described in previous verse, the qualified king, be he king, be he King Prithu or any other king who rules over the state of an ideal king, should be understood to be God in human form. According to Vedic culture, the king is honored as the supreme personality of Godhead because he represents Narayana, who also give protection to the citizen. He is therefore Natha or the proprietor. Even Sanatan Goswami gave respect to the Nawab Hussain Shah as Naradeva, although the Nawab was Mohammedan, Mohammedan. A king or governmental head must therefore be so competent to rule over the state that the citizens will worship him as God in human form. That is the perfectional stage for the head of any government or state. We'll recite Mangalacharan prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं गुरोन् वैष्णवा श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्य श्रीराधा कृष्णपदां सहगना शाखान्तांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेश जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर वासादि गौर हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हुकुम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीनाथ परमानंद श्री चैतन्य ईश्वर हरे कृष्णा I seek blessings from all the devotees present here in front of me and also in the Zoom. I also seek blessings from all my Siksha Gurus. I also seek blessings from His Grace Yugal Kishore Prabhuji and my spiritual master, so that by their mercy, whatever I'm going to speak, I'll 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 able to follow it. As a Yesterday, Rasika Bhui Prabhu and other devotees were saying that it's it's very difficult to come something from the mouth of an ignorant person, but it will only come because of the association of the devotees. Their presence will affect the speaker, and Krishna will inspire them to speak. So I humbly seek blessings from all of you. Hare Krishna. So yeah, actually yesterday we were discussing Krishna Kumar Prabhu, Rasikavi Prabhu, and I was somehow there. So yesterday we were discussing about President's plane, Air Force One, right, Prabhuji? Name of the Air Force One. So here I am speaking this because here it is very applicable. So yesterday there was a discussion. It was actually very enlightening discussion. So uh, here we consider king as Guru, sorry, Bhagwan, and Guru also we consider as Bhagwan. But the same king, whatever I heard yesterday, I'm repeating. If the same king, uh, before being a king, like take the example of Bena, before being the king, he was a rascal. Like he was, nobody used to even think of him. Everybody used to go away from him. But somehow or other, they made king, and they said that the king is the representative of the god. So what was the difference? Even though Vena does not have that quality, here Srila Prabhupada specifically said, if the king is a godly quality, if a king has godly qualities, then he is a, he is considered as a representative of Narayan. But he should have that godly qualities. So uh, before enter that plane, Air Force One. The name of the plane of the president is Air Force One. Before president enter in that plane is normal Boeing plane. Nobody call it as a Air Force One. But as soon as president enters in that plane, all the rules for that plane change. Now, before that plane was very normal plane. Nobody could even sorry, anybody could go there and nobody will stop. But now as soon as president step inside that plane, the pilot of the plane will say Air Force One on. And once he says like that, the rules of that plane changes. And nobody can go around that plane. There is some distance, like nobody can even enter in that range of that plane. If somebody enters, the security guards have full permission to shoot. So the rules change. Similarly, a person or a person who is a normal person before, but by the mercy of Brahmanas, if that person was chosen as a king, then maybe 5 minutes before that person was like a normal Boeing plane. But as soon as Brahmana chose him as a king, that person has become Air Force One. The rules and regulation change. But in this case, this person is not because of that of of any normal mundane material qualification, but it's because of their godly qualities. The Brahmanas choose them to become a king, and as soon as that person become a king, because of his godly qualities, he's a representative of Narayan. So here Prithu Maharaj is like that. Prithu Maharaj is having all the qualities. It was chosen already by Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I was hearing from Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj. Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj said, Prithu Maharaj is empowered Satyaves avatar for ruling the kingdom. So Lord has provided him with abilities, so many abilities, but one special quality is that he will rule the kingdom very nicely, and he will make everybody advance in their spiritual life. Nowadays, so here we can see how the king was chosen. King was chosen based on their qualities and based on their uh, advancement in spiritual life. But nowadays, it is completely opposite. In Kali Yuga, the nature of the people, anyways, it is said in the Shastra that everybody will be Shudra. So the quality of a king should be Kshatriya. So if a Shudra is electing another Shudra, then how can we expect a kingdom like Prithu Maharaj? How can we expect a kingdom like Yudhishthir Maharaj, Ramachandra, or Parikshit Maharaj? In the previous times, king was chosen by the learned sages, not by a Shudra. And that is why that monarch was very powerful. Srila Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita 10.27, where Krishna says that I am in human society, I am the monarch. There, Srila Prabhupada said in that purport that the verse in that verse actually Krishna is saying Nara Deepam, Naranam cha Nara Deepam. So I am the monarch in human society. So Krishna is saying that he is a king of in the human society. And Srila Prabhupada there he's mentioning in that purport that or righteous king, highly righteous king who always thought of the citizens' welfare were were eligible to become king. Not anybody who was thinking of their own profit. Prabhupada is saying that today's in today's time, in today's age, because the religious principles are corrupted, and when the religious principles are corrupted, the kings are also corrupted. And because the kings are corrupted, people are not at all happy. People are always suffering because of this corruption. People doesn't know what is the purpose of their life. Here in this verse, Prithu Maharaj is addressed as a son. What do we mean by sun? Sun is the symbol of knowledge. Sun removes the darkness and sun removes avidya. It is said, I was hearing from Srila Prabhupada exactly on this principle of sun. It is said that Srila Prabhupada was saying that sun, and I might have said in the previous class as well, the sun, the 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 higher planetary system has more access to sun. That is why there is so much knowledge. And the lower planetary system is in full of darkness. That is why there is so much ignorance. And that is why there is so much avidya. So the sun is the representative of that knowledge. And Prithu Maharaj is addressed as the sun. But here in today's world, the kings and the leaders are not addressed as sun. We cannot even think them as sun because of their avidya. First of all, they are in avidya, and that is the reason people are also not able to get that knowledge. Why? Because by nature, the mind, by nature, the conditioned living entity wants to enjoy this material world. And to enjoy this material world, whether it is legal or illegal, they want to enjoy it. So what government is doing? Okay, they want to anyways enjoy and they are not able to control. So they are making the policies which are illegal as legal. For example, you can openly sell liquor, which was not at all seen in the kingdom of Parikshit Maharaj. How can we say that? Because when Kali wanted to take shelter, Parikshit Maharaj said, you have four places. You can go and stay in four places. I will allot you four places. What are those four places? Wherever people are drinking or selling liquor, wherever there is a illicit sex, wherever there is a meat eating, and wherever there is gambling. So he said these four places, and Parikshit Maharaj asked him that you are free to stay anywhere without any tax. You don't have to give me tax also. You can stay there. But Kali wandered entire kingdom of Parikshit Maharaj. What was the kingdom of Parikshit Maharaj? This entire planet. There was not even one space where Parikshit Maharaj did not rule. So Kali wandered this entire planet but could not see even any place where there was openly, not openly, sorry, even openly or close. There was not even a thought of liquor in anybody's mind. There was no illicit sex, there was no gambling, there was no meat eating. So that is the king who is like a son. But nowadays we are seeing openly every 1 mile we see liquor shop, everywhere we see meat eating, everywhere gambling is very much legal, and illicit sex is also legal. So because rulers, king doesn't have a knowledge, they are openly okay. Anyways, they are doing illegally, so make it legal, so that one less tension for them to arrest them and put them in jail. So they are making it legal, but little do they know from Manuspiti that whatever the sinful activities Praja is doing, citizen is doing, 1/6 that ruler will get anyway. So even the pious credit, 1/6 pious credit the ruler will get. But in today's world, how many people are pious? What do you mean by piety? Not the charity of food which will lead into something more abominable. For example, when there are floods, there is no food at all, and what government does? They put some food packets from the air, and they and it will be so limited. Even if it is abandoned, people will fight for that food, even though it is charity, but people are fighting for it and they are ready to kill each other for that food. So is that a piety? I don't think so. So what do you mean by piety? Piety means Krishna conscious activities. So only that person who is performing Krishna conscious service, any activity with consciousness of Krishna, that is only piety. Otherwise, good credit, good karma and bad karma both are like white pig and black pig. So if somebody is asked to choose a white pig is eating, this is the example of Yugal Kishore Prabhuji. A white pig is eating a stool and a black pig is eating a stool. And somebody is asked to choose any pig, which pig you like, please choose. Which pig will you choose? Both are eating stool. So none, exactly. You will not choose any pig. Similarly, good karma is white pig and bad karma is black pig. So which pig will you choose? If you have that clear knowledge, graphical knowledge, then you will not choose anything. That is why piety doesn't mean good karma. It means only Krishna consciousness. Serving Krishna, spreading the message of Krishna, and in the association of devotees, discussing about Krishna, eating Krishna prasad, and hearing about Krishna, and following the instructions of a devotee who is fully Krishna conscious, and by their grace, we will get that avidya will be gone and we will become spiritually enlightened. And this will happen only if the king is Krishna conscious. But in today's world, we cannot see that kind of king. In today's world, we are only seeing those kings who are very much lachar, bebas. What it means? Huh? Who are very much no, they are lachar, dependent on public. Pity. Whose life is very pity. They have to be dependent on public. Even if they want to do good thing, the public will not vote them next time. So that is why, because they have some attachment, that no, I only want to become next time uh, whatever, the prime minister, president, or whatever. That is the reason they have to do whatever public wants to do. Public wants, but there are very rare. I have seen, I have heard that in India there is one chief minister, Adi Yogi. So no, Aditya, I forgot. Yeah, the chief minister of UP, Adityanath. Huh. He is a sannyasi and is chief minister, and he, at least I was so much appreciative that in that 84 miles, that Chaurasi course Braj, he removed all kind of meat, liquor, and everything. So he don't care with whatever people say. He just removed it. So that kind of king we need in this time. So, but people are very much dependent on people to come to the kingdom. That is the reason democracy is not good according to scriptures. According to scriptures, democracy is not good for enlightening our spiritual knowledge. But democracy is very good for sense enjoyment. So but now people are not at all interested in spiritual knowledge. They are only interested in sense gratification. That is why people are unhappy. Srila Prabhupada said many times. One reporter asked, there was a Srila Prabhupada has arrived in Chicago, and in the Chicago airport, a reporter was asking, and Srila Prabhupada read a newspaper that there is a crime. There are so many crimes, and government is very much stressful dealing with the crime, and they don't know what to do about it. He read in the newspaper, maybe in the plane or whatever. He somewhere he read, and that reporter came to ask Prabhupada, like, what is this movement and all. So in that, Prabhupada taking the opportunity, Prabhupada said, I have heard that there are so many crimes in Chicago. So Prabhupada reporter said, yes. Prabhupada said, we have the solution to get rid of the crime. Any crime, any amount of crime can be gotten rid if you follow whatever we say. So reporter was surprised. How is it possible? We government is trying so much, but the crime rate is not at all going. But how is it possible? Srila Prabhupada said, it is possible, but you have to do whatever we say. And then Srila Prabhupada said that, please come to our temple and we'll teach you. So Srila Prabhupada also, and that interview was over, but this was a arrival address in Chicago when Prabhupada arrived in Chicago. Srila Prabhupada said while driving in the car to the devotee who was sitting that get all the newspapers, see wherever the crime is, and then make a document and presentation and submit that presentation to government, that how can they get rid of crime, and invite them to a temple and preach them heavily. So, so Prabhupada said that this crime is an opportunity for preaching. So because people in this world doesn't have any kind of knowledge, but they think they have all the knowledge. Nobody knows anything. They only follow whatever they are all. There are four kinds of people. First, the first class person is the one who understand just by hearing. They are called the most intelligent people. The second class is the one who understand not by hearing. They hear but they'll not understand, but they see, okay, wrong things are happening if people are doing like this. So after seeing, they'll understand. So they are second class of intelligent people. The third one is they don't understand by hearing, they don't understand by seeing, they understand after going through experience. That, oh, like a person who wants to steal, he hears that whoever stole, they had to go to jail. He will say that, oh, they are foolish, they don't know how to steal, I know how to steal. And he has seen somebody who was stealing has gone to jail. He said, Array, he did so many wrong mistakes while stealing. I will show I am the number one thief. I will show how to do it. And then he will steal, and the end result is he will also go in jail. Then he will understand, no, 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 whatever we do, we will go in jail. But the fourth kind of people is, even after going through experience, even after hearing, seeing, and going through experience, they come out of jail and make another plan to steal. They will say that, oh, we learn from our mistakes. So whatever mistake I did, I have learned. Now I'll improvise my plan and then I'll steal again. So they are most foolish. So in today's world, people are doing mistakes and they're thinking that, oh, this is one mistake. Now I'll not do the, I have learned. Now I'll do something else. And that is also causing mistake. And they'll say, no, I have learned. I'll do something else. So in this world, people, whatever knowledge we have is experimental and with Anuman. There is no Shabda Praman, only Pratyaksha and Anuman. So, in this world, because people are not dependent on scriptures, the knowledge, whatever is have is anyways, whatever they previous in the past generation people have done experiments or whatever their experience. But there is no Shabda Praman because Shabda Praman comes only through scriptures in the disciplic succession. That is the reason people are unhappy. And who will spread this Shabda Praman? Who will spread the scriptures? Only that person who, that king who is Krishna conscious, who is coming under disciplic succession. Only that king. And what kind of disciplic succession? Authentic Vaishnava disciplic succession. They can only spread this knowledge. Otherwise, there is no other way, no other way, no other way. People can be happy in this material world by choosing some Shudra as their king. So, Srila Prabhupada, and also here in this verse, we can see that how much we can learn just by this one verse, that a king like Prithu Maharaj is like a sun and he's traveling around the globe on his victorious chariot, holding the invisible bow in his hand, and he has no competitor. He is very powerful. Why he has no competitor? Because he is well versed in the knowledge. What is a competitor for a person who knows everything? Example is the Jiva Goswami and Rup and Sanatan Goswami. Some Digvijay came to challenge them. They said, ah, no, 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 we don't know anything. You are, you are perfect. You are the winner. And they just signed and went because they have no competitors. What will they compete with someone who is foolish person? So the knowledge, Prithu Maharaj have this scriptural knowledge, the knowledge of Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, After knowing this is the most confidential knowledge, after knowing this, you don't have to know anything. So Prithu Maharaj know this knowledge. What is this knowledge of Krishna consciousness? Prithu Maharaj knows this knowledge. So there is no competitor for Prithu Maharaj. And Prithu Maharaj is always victorious because he has already conquered the most worst enemy, which is mind. If mind is, if you have conquered mind, then who are your enemies? Who are your enemies? Every once you have conquered your mind, everybody is your friend. There is not even a single enemy. The only enemy is mind. And Prithu Maharaj has conquered the mind. Then who is his enemy? So he's always victorious. And he's holding an invisible bow in his hand. That is like a shastric knowledge, which might not be seen, but he knows that Shastra. That bow with the shastric knowledge, he is ruling the kingdom, which is very just, very righteous. There is no sign of of corruption. There is no sign of degradation. There is no sign of non-devotee. There is no sign of people being ignorant. And then he's exactly like the sun. That means he's full of he's spreading light of knowledge. He's spreading light of Krishna consciousness in his entire kingdom. So that is Prithu Maharaj. And Prabhupada is saying that this kind of king can only help his citizens to get rid of any any suffering, any misery, even in this even in this miserable world, because they will make this world as Vaikuntha. Otherwise, the kings, without all these qualities, will make this miserable world more miserable. So, even though there is some misery, people will become more miserable because of not having this knowledge. So, that is what I wanted to speak in this on this topic. Please forgive me if I have spoken anything wrong, and if there are any corrections, please correct me. Thank you, everybody. I am ending now. Hare Krishna. Are there any corrections? Anybody have anything on Zoom? If nobody have anything, then we'll end here. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining, and by your presence, I could speak something. Thank you. I'm ending now. Vancha kalpatarubhishya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय. हरे कृष्ण.